But the one thing that is a rightful to be cautious about with these AI ML models is the need for the transparency and explainability behind the results that these models are being generated here.
So can it also streamline the processes of account validation? I mean, I would think eventually it could reduce costs and increase accuracy, correct?
Oh, absolutely. With pay by bank and digital payment processes are growing in that payment space, and a large part of that is because of the reduced costs compared to your traditional card payment processes. But a main component of this is making sure that the account you're trying to process is a valid account, because otherwise return costs, ACH return costs associated with that can kind of throw out that economic equation there. And as well, common methods of validating a bank account, such as like a micro deposit, can be costly at first, as well as that introduces high friction in the process. So you'll see an increased likelihood of those consumers abandoning the process when it comes to micro deposits. But this is where AI ML can really shine and help streamline that process, as you were saying. So where we can use that transactional data to analyze the patterns and the behavior of that account, so that our models can then validate whether or not that account is real or not. And that's an example that we have been seeing. There is a leading technology provider for convenience stores that switched to ValidiFI's account validation product in order to marry these pay by bank capabilities with their loyalty card programs in order to approve more consumers and increase the overall payment success rate.
Wow. So they're able to integrate two parts of their business using your solution then.
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, wow. What are some of the key challenges that are left, Eric? I mean, as you rightly said, AI is integrated. It is helping with account validation. But what are some of the challenges that you face, and what do you think some of the challenges banks are facing as they want to integrate it more?
Yeah, with AI ML, there's a couple various challenges that always come up, right? A big one is just how do we implement that, right? So with these AI ML models, it's very easy to kind of develop that in an ad hoc fashion, kind of in the background. But when it comes to in practice, consumers and bank and customers are really wanting this answers in real time or near real time. So the question becomes, how do we productionize these models? And certainly with API endpoints and other cloud-based services and the kind of the further development there with Azure and AWS, that solution has become a little bit easier. Another big challenge that I kind of alluded to previously was kind of reducing that black box nature that AI ML algorithms can introduce sometimes. So for example, when we have AI ML solutions, a customer may ask, okay, you've provided me this score with like a recommended action, but how do I trust this? Where do I, what is this score telling me? So it's on us on the product side to really be able to provide enough detail and transparency into how we're achieving that score and what that score really represents. So that way we are, giving the customers that and the banks that confidence in that decision and allowing them to answer those questions in real time. And then the final challenge that's kind of very near and dear to me is that AI is just the methodology behind these solutions. But what's really driving these solutions is the data behind the models. So it's very important that we're making sure that we put in quality data into the models so that when you do expand these solutions and increase the scalability of this, you're not, losing the effectiveness of that solution then.